What happened now?
Live given, ma'am. Start the care. Start.
Okay, fine. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I will
Thank you.
leave live.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, one and all. We extend a warm welcome to you, and it's always a pleasure to meet you all. So, on yet another one more week of G20 International One Planet Cabinet. On this platform, as we all know, we have been talking about Sustainable Developmental Goals, which are SDGs. Program is so much dedicated for SDGs, which are otherwise called as global goals, and which are adopted by United Nations in 2015 as a universal call to the nation, call to action as well, to end poverty, protection of planet, and to ensure that by 2030, all people will enjoy peace and prosperity. So the 17 SDGs are integrated, that they recognize the action in one area, definitely, which will affect the other area as well. So that we say that it is all interrelated when it comes to the outcomes that has development. In the development must balance both in social, economical, and environmental sustainability. And the countries have committed to prioritize progress for those who are furthest behind. The SDGs are designed to end poverty, hunger, AIDS, and discrimination against all women and girls. So the creativity, know-how, the technology, and the financial resources from all the society is very much necessary to achieve the SDGs in every context. So to sum it up, these SDGs are definitely the collection of ambitious, interrelated targets that aim to tackle some of the world's most pressing challenges, including poverty, inequality, climatic change, and environmental degradation. These are designed to be universal, meaning that they apply to all countries and all people, regardless of their level of development. So, what are we doing here on this platform? We are trying to create a planet, collaborating with people, contributing with partnership, which will bring change towards prosperity. Thereby, our communities will move ahead in pathways. So, on that note, with all the 5 P's as a vision, that is people, prosperity, peace, partnership, and the planet. Whereas it's the other way, planet, people, prosperity, peace, and partnership, or the keeping as the 5 P's as a mission, the vision, we work with the mission of achieving these 5 pillars with the 17 SDG goals as our mission to achieve global peace and prosperity. So, from a developmental intervention to be sustainable, it needs to take an account that the social, economical, and ecological consequences it generates and lead to a conscious choice in terms of trade-off and spins-off it creates. For a developmental intervention to be sustainable, the decision makers who are involved need to consider to what extent it is developed and owned and carried forward in partnership, including with which the people who live will be the consequences of the intervention. So to achieve this, the Sustainable Developmental Goals are organized into 3 distinct categories that will reflect the principles of the triple bottom line framework. So this approach highlights the need for the businesses to consider the impacts of the decisions that we are talking about and the actions equally on the 3 vital areas of people, planet, and the profit, that is prosperity. As a result, we have categorically renamed to emphasize our focus with people, which encompasses the social well-being and the equity, the planet, which addresses the environmental sustainability and conservation, the prosperity, which pertains to the economic growth and the opportunity. So this alignment underscores the importance of creating a balanced and sustainable future for all. So on that note, we have been meeting week after week. So far, we have completed the planet topics and also the prosperity topics. And now we are talking about the people. So when it comes to the people, we started with culture. And this week, today, we are going to talk about health for all. In simple words, it is health for all, but we have named it as One Health Quadrupedite. Now, what is this One Health Quadrupedite? That's what is the thing. So the One Health Quadrupedite is actually the four organizations, that is Food and Agriculture, World Health Organization, WHO, World Organization for Animal Health, WOH, and United Nations Environmental Program, that is UNEP. These four organizations are working together with one notion of one health approach that recognizes the interconnectedness of the human, animal, environment, and health. So what it aims to is that to promote collaboration, to improve health outcomes, to reduce risks, and support sustainable development. So this is the actual motto of this One Health Quadrupedite. But what could be the benefits? What are the benefits they want to reap on? Is that the holistic approach for that one health for one planet with improved collaboration, with enhanced health security. That's what they are working for a more sustainable and equitable future. Now, for achieving this, if we say that this is our vision, how do we achieve this? On four different categories, focusing on agriculture, food security, health becoming our wealth with all GVC patterns. So consolidating these health priorities and achieving convergence in the health cooperation. To consolidate that, the global GVC patterns, that is global value chains, in other words, understand GVCs, identify the opportunities with collaboration coordination, with knowledge sharing practices, and the capacity building, and also not compromising on the governance factor of policy coherence, regulatory frameworks, international cooperation, where the policy holders, the policy makers come into work with an integrated action of multi-stakeholder partnerships, whole of the government approach, evidence-based action and decision making. By all these things, we'll be able to achieve the well-being of the populations worldwide by improving health outcomes and global health security. On that note, we are joined by our global partners, the community partners, GSFL, Global Vision, Good Vision Seva Trust, the Institution of Green Engineers, Amity University, Dubai, Dr. MGR Education Institute, Dr. MGR Education Institute part-time, Sri Sai Ram Group of Engineering, Sai Ram Group with Sai Ram Institute of Technology, Group of Institutions, and Sai Ram Engineering College, JNN Group with JNN Engineering College, Sri Ishwar Engineering College from SRM Group, and Green Brigade, and Sri Valiamma Engineering College, and also with the Gracious Foundation. And so moving ahead, so our community partners have helped us with the speakers, eminent speakers who are going to address on the pointers of deliberation as follows. Curbing the silent pandemic of AMR, which will be addressed by Dr. Hema. Welcome, ma'am. Reducing the risk of re-emerging epidemics and pandemics by Mr. R.S. Shaji. Thank you, sir. Thanks for joining us. The global upsurge of food and water safety hazards will be addressed by Mr. George and Dr. Elena Boswick. Welcome, ma'am. Thanks for joining us. Links between the health of the environment, humans, animals, and plants will be addressed by Dr. Venkat Reddy Umadi. Welcome, sir. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Raising awareness and advocacy on OH priorities is left open for the floor to address. Evolving food trade landscape patterns with agro-food GVCs, international instruments to foster inclusive and sustainable GVCs and agro-food chains, with increasing participation of women and youth in agro-food chains will be addressed by Dr. Anjum Qureshi and Dr. Virginia Rivera. That shapes the agriculture workforce employed in agro-food GVCs, putting in place the right trade policies for a sustainable SMEs, MSMEs, and cultural economy and heritage will be addressed by Dr. A. Vimal. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Thanks for you all joining us on this platform. We are always happy to have you with us, and it's always a wonderful, um, always have been a wonderful confluence that every week that we meet and we talk about. Thank you, Dr. Virginia Rivera. Please start. I'm so happy to see you here. So, thank you. And on that note, we are joined by two other moderators, Dr. Tanuja and Dr. Charles. Welcome, sir. Thanks for joining us. His Excellency, Dr. Charles, will be as a moderator for us. And Dr. Tanuja is also one of the moderators. Maybe Dr. Hema, being the nursing from the nursing college, Dr. Hema also can be one of the moderators. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. On that note, may I introduce the host for today? It is none other than Ms. Neha Behan, whom we all quite familiar with. Ms. Neha, thank you so much, and over to you. Thank you.
Thank you and good evening to everyone. Good evening to all the speakers and Sri Vidya ma'am for yet another series of G20 International One Cabinet. So moving on with the first speaker of the session, I would like to invite Ms. Hema V.H. She's serving the nursing educator sector over 30 years with experience in teaching, research, and administration. She has published 60 papers in national and international journals, of which 13 are Scopus Index Journal. Recognized PhD guide, 3 PhD awarded, 8 PhD studies on progress, and 1 patent published on speech slammer detection system using spectral features and artificial neural networks. Her recognitions are, she has been awarded as the Best Nurse Educator Award for the year 2021 from Tamil Nadu Nurses and Midwives Council, Chennai. She has also received the appreciation certificate from District Collector Tiruvallur for vaccination post-COVID support during Republic Day celebrations 2022, and Best Women Nursing Principal by Jenison Education Impressions, Roorkee 2022. And today her point of deliberation will be curbing the silent pandemic of AMR. And over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, one and all.
Good evening, ma'am.
I take this opportunity to thank G20 International Conference One Planet Cabinet for giving me this opportunity. And I thank the comparing person for introducing me. Thank you very much. So I bring greetings from Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute, and the principal of Faculty of Nursing, heading the Faculty of Nursing. And I would be sharing my thoughts on curbing the silent pandemic of antimicrobial resistance. Are my slides visible?
Yes, ma'am. You're able to view them. You can go ahead.
So we all know that One Health Joint Plan of Action, we have 6 action tracks, and curbing the silent pandemic of antimicrobial resistance is the 5th action track, which I will be discussing. So we all very well know that antimicrobials are given for animals and birds which we consume, and for human being when we suffer from illness. And because of this, the microbes can become drug resistant, and it can spread to the environment, and through food like the non-vegetarian food which we consume, that can spread, take the microorganisms, and it can be transferred to the people. So that the chain goes like that, and it leads to the antimicrobial resistance along the food chain. So we all very well know bacteria's role in the ecosystem. The bacteria are the 2nd largest biomass on Earth, and after plants. In addition to, we live in an environment densely populated with microorganisms. They are present in almost all niches of the planet, including in extreme conditions like acid springs and on active waste, radioactive waste also. And this is the ecosystem where the environment plays a role, and we have the human health and the bacteria. We have the waste recycling process and the organic debris degradation, which is happening in the ecosystem. And in the human health, we have common cells and metabolite production, which enhances this antimicrobial resistance. So this is a pictorial representation of the history of the antibiotic discovery and how it moved on from 1900 to 2016. This is the roadmap. We have the penicillin discovered in 1930, and we have the golden age between 1950 to 1960, and we have the resistance, the vancomycin resistant Staphylococcus aureus detected, and vancomycin resistant Staphylococcus aureus coming up. So these are the things which is happening, which has caused the antimicrobial resistance too. And how does this antimicrobial resistance, what is the global threats and solutions? So we have the antimicrobial resistance. We have what are the consequences of this? We have increased mortality, the economic costs and risks to medical procedures. And the drivers are the misuse of antimicrobials and overuse of antimicrobials. And the solutions will be prevent infections, ensure access to treatment, and strategic information and innovation. So these are the global threats and the solutions. In addition to death and disability, the antimicrobial resistance has significant economic costs. The World Bank estimates that antimicrobial resistance could result in $1 trillion additional healthcare costs by 2050 and $1 trillion to $3.4 trillion gross domestic product losses per year by 2030. So isn't it alarming? So I think this is taken up as Action 5, track Action 5, and strategies are going on. And the rising tide of the antimicrobial resistance. In 2015, 73% of antibiotics sold used in livestock, predicted 10 million deaths yearly by 2050 due to antimicrobial resistance, and 1.27 million deaths worldwide related to antimicrobial resistance, and multi-drug resistant tuberculosis case is coming up in 2020, and 2022 antimicrobial resistance becomes a concern. And that is why in 2022, this quadripartite was formed, the 4 organizations coming together to take actions to combat the pandemic of antimicrobial resistance. And Asia hosts 56% of pigs and 54% of chicken of the world. And not surprisingly, Asia is at the forefront of antimicrobial resistance in animals. In China and India, the antibiotics use is increasing in livestock than in human. Increase in antimicrobial resistance at an alarming rate has been predicted to create serious illness, health risks worldwide. An estimate in 2019 recorded 1.27 million deaths worldwide related to antimicrobial resistance, compared with 8.64 million of HIV/AIDS and 6.43 million of malaria. So what are the causes of antimicrobial resistance? The antibiotic use in livestock, high demand for protein, infection control procedures, global health concerns, predicted deaths, comparisons with other diseases, irrational prescriptions, indiscriminate use, clinical practices, increasing antibiotic use, high livestock population, and regional trends. These things leads to antimicrobial resistance. So what are the global efforts in combating antimicrobial resistance? So in 2002 to 2004, South Africa used 1,500 tons of antibiotics in livestock. 1994 to 2014, 38% decrease in antibiotic use in European Union. 2021, European Union livestock antibiotic use reduced by 18.3% from 2018. There was a ban in 2006 on indiscriminate use of antibiotics in European Union, and 2012 to 2021, Denmark's community and hospital antibiotic use decreased. And what are the steps to curb antimicrobial resistance? One is the ecological identification, public health understanding, governmental role, control, scientific solutions, and policy guidelines. So identification of ecological niches and routes of transmission of antimicrobial resistance in food chain, understanding the public health implications of antimicrobial resistance in human population and communities, especially when niches are intermingled, and public health understanding the 5 strategic objectives of WHO Global Action Plan: heighten awareness and understanding of antibiotic use and antibiotic resistance, strengthen knowledge via surveillance and research, reduce infectious diseases, optimize rational antibiotic use, mobilize resources for research, and develop framework to set out integrated prevention and containment measures of antimicrobial resistance in the food chain. And with regard to the scientific solutions, need to map antimicrobial resistance and stop rapid depletion of antibiotics and identification of potential microorganisms which are capable of causing epidemics-like situations. Spontaneous genetic variation arises in microbes as acquired resistance, which could vertically or horizontally transmit to its progeny. And the development of integrated surveillance system for antimicrobial resistance and antimicrobial use is essential, and modern methods to rapidly monitor emerging antimicrobial resistance genes. And policy guidelines of WHO for curbing antimicrobial resistance. These are the things, steps which are very essential to curb the antimicrobial resistance. And we very well know that research is very important for combating this pandemic. And WHO global research priorities for antimicrobial resistance in human health. And in 2030, 40 research priorities have been addressed. And by 2030, we would be getting results for all that. 40 research priorities include 40 research priorities, including 7 priority topics focused on drug resistance and fungal infections priorities, and 7 including AMR, epidemiology, awareness, and education. And it has also identified One Health, the gap which has been found in One Health, that is also going to be addressed in this research, which is the research priorities of WHO. And these are the countries involved. The various research topics are here: behavioral and social science, epidemiology, governance, regulations, legislation, health economics, pharmacology and clinical disciplines, antimicrobial medicines, antimicrobial stewardships, antimicrobial use, burden and drivers, diagnosis or diagnostics, foodborne diseases, fungi, immunization, infection prevention and control, policies and regulations, drug-resistant tuberculosis, sexually transmitted diseases, water, sanitation, and hygiene. So these are the research priorities which are going to be dealt by the research studies by the countries which are given here. And understanding the AMR measurement challenges from controlled to complex environments. We have the sampling issue and the phenotypic, genotypic resistance, prevalence, epidemiological data, AMR prevalence in the space, which is ever changing, so it is very dynamic, and studying AMR is difficult, and climatic and anthropogenic effects. Because of the climatic changes, it is very difficult to identify and to do studies on that. So these are the challenges related to antimicrobial resistance. And as in the medical profession, what has to be done? The importance of antimicrobial to be stewardship and the roles and responsibilities of doctors, nurses, pharmacists, quality improvement and information technology specialists in the process, implementation of appropriate prescription practices to ensure antibiotics are prescribed and dispensed correctly, use preventive measures such as vaccines to protect patients from infections, improve sanitation in hospital to prevent healthcare associated infections, improve effective waste management strategies, advise patients about the risk associated with antimicrobial therapy and use and measures and the use of prescribed antibiotic measures when possible. Hand hygiene with soap or alcoholic-based rub are key to protect patients from infections contracted in healthcare settings and prevent the spread of AMR. So what should we do as individuals, as each and everyone? Wise use of antibiotics, follow healthcare professionals' advice and avoid self-medication to prevent resistance. Stay healthy, maintain hygiene and get vaccinated to reduce the need for antibiotics. Eat proper food, washed fruits and vegetables, cook meat at the appropriate temperature and the time required. Use safe water for cooking. All these things may keep us healthy. And raise awareness, educate others about the antibiotic resistance to promote responsible use. So by these simple measures, to some extent, we will be able to curb the pandemic of antimicrobial resistance. So with this, I take this opportunity to thank, these are the references, and I take this opportunity to thank once again for giving me opportunity to share my thoughts. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Hema. It was a quite comprehensive presentation indeed. I think you have covered everything in detail, in the sense it was more like a science class or the medical class for us, really. That was a wonderful presentation. Well, to sum it up exactly with ma'am's presentation, I've tried my level best to put the thoughts here. So, on talking about the curbing the silent pandemic of AMR, ma'am has categorically grouped it into the different sectors like strategies to combat with AMR, with the role of policy and governance, and also the importance of collaboration, thereby ensuring global health security. So when we talk about the response, what is AMR? First, a brief definition of AMR and how it has really come up. There was a timeline which was shown very clearly from where it incepted and how it has evolved through till this date, and with how we can really combat this when it is becoming a threat to handle. How can we do that? With the responsible use of antibiotics, with proper surveillance and monitoring, and also not compromising on the research and development factor which involves in it. And what is the key thing is when we take it to the community, the public awareness and the education factor to raise the public awareness and to promote the behavioral change which is being there. For that, what is to be arrived at in giving citations from WHO's Global Action Plan, National Action Plan has to be developed within country-wise, state-wise, district-wise with a regulatory framework which will ensure the responsible use of these antibiotics and promoting innovation with international cooperation to address the global nature of the AMR and to curb these pandemics. As the topic goes, curbing these pandemics with the importance of the multi-stakeholder partnership. If at all anything has to be implemented, there is a responsibility of each and everybody who is involved in it. It's not only government, it's not only the healthcare professionals, or the researchers or the industry stakeholders, as public, as a community, as a people who are using it. Even we also have a responsibility to it with interdisciplinary approaches that will address the complex issues of the AMR. And definitely by working on all these things, definitely, thank you, ma'am. I'm sure we will be able to curb this threat and for a global health security. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful presentation indeed. Kudos to you, ma'am. Brilliant it was. Thank you. That gave us a wonderful start. And as a request, I would place the request that you being as one of the moderator, you can sum up for some of the speakers. If
yes,
you can.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. So, Ms. Neha Ben, can we move on to the next speaker, please? Thank you.
you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful session. Now, moving on to our next speaker, Dr. Virginia Rivera. She's a dedicated social entrepreneur and certified business mentor, serving as the president of WEP World Education Policy. With over 20 years in corporate leadership, she advocates for education as a catalyst for empowerment and economic autonomy, particularly for women through initiatives like Mahila Udyami Women's Empowerment and Business Hub. Today, her point of deliberation is the topic, which as per her introduction, has also been shared as increasing participation of women and youth in agro food chains. We welcome you on this platform, ma'am, and over to you.
Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, ma'am. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. For me, it's morning, but if you're ending your day, I'm very, very excited to be the last person probably that you may see in this amazing group. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed speakers, I'm very impressed by the roster of speakers today and Value Community Partners. I am honored to be here. I have been trying to join Dr. Srividya in the last few weeks, and because I've been traveling for the last 3 months, it's been a little hard, challenging, but I am always, always supportive of the amazing work that you do. So thank you, Dr. Srividya, for your patience. I think that one of the most important things that I love about the work that she does is that these are critical issues that need to be discussed, and we actually take the time to really deliberate on them. This one in particular, today's, where we all gather to talk about One Health, quadripartite, agriculture, food security, health is wealth, and global value chain and patterns. I think it's really, really important. And I am just going to contribute a little bit to what I do every day. Is how do we increase productivity, participation of women, and obviously of youth, because women and children and youth are very related, in the agro-food chains. Today, I stand before you to talk about a critical issue that has been far-reaching implications for our societies, for our economies, and for the sustainability of food systems. And this is the increasing participation of women and youth in agro-food chains. 66% of the labor that goes into agriculture sites anywhere around the world are women. Nonetheless, they are still underrepresented and underserved when it comes to speaking about better conditions, allowing them to have the flexibility to take care of all their issues and, more than anything, all their responsibilities. Again and again, we see them working, but we don't see them thriving. And I think it's very, very important to ensure food security that women are. As we navigate the complexities of a rapidly changing global landscape, and in this case, a rural landscape, it is imperative that we empower these two demographics, women and youth, unleashing their full potential in ways that will drive innovation, economic growth, and food security. I will talk to you today as the Chief Program Officer for Mahila Udyami. I will explain a little bit of what we do and how we contribute to this particular pointer. It is very important to me. I live in a sunny little island in Puerto Rico where 75% of it is mountainous, it's rural, and I see the women working here every day. When I visit India and when I live in India, because I do that now, I am also in a small little village in Al-Wamai, and the majority of women are the ones who are bringing prosperity to agriculture. Nonetheless, they don't have a voice. So let's begin with some really striking statistics that highlight the current landscape of gender and youth participation in agriculture. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, the FAO, women constitute approximately 63% of the agricultural labor force in developing countries. This is including those in the formal economy and the informal. If we talk about the formal economy, that would be 43%. But when we consider the informal economy, and this is when I say again and again that women are not really given their rights, it's 20% more. Despite the significant contribution, they face numerous barriers, and I'll point them out to you, including limited access to resources, limited access to technology, and markets. That hinders your effectiveness and the overall productivity of the agri-food system. The majority of our women in rural areas, and we're talking about probably 53%, and I say 53% because that's the number that we had in 2021, don't have access to connectivity. When we also look at youth, the situation is equally concerning. The International Labor Organization, the ILO, reports that young people aged 15 to 24 make up about 20% of the global population, yet constitutes only 12% of the world's unemployed. In rural areas where agriculture is the primary source of livelihood, these numbers are even more pronounced. This is critical. Engaging our youth not only addresses the unemployment crisis, but it also revitalizes the agricultural sector with fresh energies, fresh ideas, and innovative practices. So why is the participation of women and youth so important and so crucial in agri-food chain? Firstly, research shows that gender equality and youth engagement in agriculture will lead to improved productivity and sustainable practices. For example, there's a study by the McKinsey Global Institute that reveals that closing the gender gap in labor force participation could add 12 trillion more to the global GDP by 2025. This is if we include women, if we insert women. This is very important. In agriculture, when women have equal access to resources and opportunities, they can increase yields on their farms by 20 to 30%, according to the FAO. These are incredible numbers, and this is a very important pointer where I'm very passionate about. Furthermore, involving youth in agri-food chains fosters innovation. We know how they think. They've lived through so many things that when we were growing up, we didn't live through, but they are concerned about food security. They are concerned about their future. And the truth is that our generations did not give them many options. So we need to include youth. Young people are more likely to embrace new technologies. We all know that. We all have that nephew, that grandson, that son that resolves all our situation when it comes to technology. We also need to be privy to this. They are all involved and they support sustainable practices. The generations that are coming up were raised with food scarcity, with food rationing, with prices rocketing, where we can't bring a healthy plate to the table because we can't afford it. This is important, and this is what our youth is experiencing today. All this can have a substantial impact on food security and climate resilience. The World Bank estimates that by 2030, an additional 100 million people could be lifted out of extreme poverty if we invest in youth entrepreneurship. I'm not even talking about women. I'm talking about youth entrepreneurship in agriculture. This is why we go to rural areas not to enjoy just the beautiful landscapes. We go to empower, we go to position, and we go to, more than anything, educate about the opportunities that exist for women and for youth. To harness the potential of women and youth in agri-food chains, we must implement policies and programs that promote their participation. Many times we only think about the money that can be made, but the truth is, if we start with the mind shift, everything else follows. This will include providing better access to education for all and training. As the president of World Education Policy, day in and day out, one of my biggest responsibilities is to eradicate all barriers to education. And this means bringing policies that are real and that will be a gateway to a future of sustainability. Right now, we're thinking about what? Algebra, arithmetic? And this is all great, but we also need to include sustainability classes every single day into educational system, because these are the leaders and these are the people that will be living in the future. So I can't believe that today we don't include this worldwide when we know the situation that we are right now when we talk about climate change and mostly about food scarcity. Additional to providing better education and training, we need to offer financial resources such as microloans and grants and creating networks that will connect these women and youth with markets and with mentorship. These are incredible opportunities that are totally needed. For instance, let's talk about what we see in India. I particularly love what we're doing there, but it's not easy because a lot of the women there do not have access to a computer or to connectivity. This is a very important and very sad situation because we're talking about sustainability and we have more than 2.9 billion people that are not connected. What are we talking about? See, I love Dr. Shrividya's programs because they're urgent. When we do this, we talk about real numbers, we talk about real problems, and I want to be part of that solution. I think we are. I'm going to present to you what we do in Mahila Udyami very fast, but I want to also share with you right now some initiatives that are happening around the world. Number one, women's cooperatives and youth-led agricultural enterprises have proven to be very effective models. Countries like Kenya and Nigeria have seen success with programs that support women, smallholder farmers. This is great because they get grants that they don't have to repay. They can use those funds to grow, to really be, and more than anything, provide food security for their villages. When we do this, we show that when we invest in these demographics in particular, the benefits cascade throughout the entire communities. I'm not saying that studies show that when we invest in women, communities prosper, they flourish. So definitely, this is a call to action for all of us. I think that I'm going to show you right now what we do very quickly in Mahila Udyami, because I think that every single one of us, where we're at, from the place that you're standing with what the resources that you have and the networks that you know, you can make a difference. You can really support this. Let me see if I can share this quickly.
Yes, Dr. Virginia, you should be able to share.
I'm
Yes,
gonna,
yes.
one
It's
minute.
loading. It's loading.
Okay, so let me talk to you about Mahila Udyami. Can you see me?
We are able to see you. Yeah, it's opened.
Can you see the presentation?
Yes, yeah, yes.
It says, okay, well, I'm sorry, it's just that I don't think okay, here we go. If I can do. So Mahila Udyami, here we go. Mahila Udyami is a visionary project dedicated to creating a transformative women's empowerment and business hub. And the businesses that we're talking about here are agro-food chains, agro enterprises that stands at the forefront of empowering female entrepreneurs and fostering positive change in society. This revolutionary hub that is under construction now, but that it's 1 year old. We've been doing this in Aluwamai in Kunda, India. This revolutionary hub is envisioned as a vibrant ecosystem that nurtures and supports women from diverse backgrounds, enabling them to unlock their full potential and contribute meaningfully to the economy and society at large. Through the implementation of 4 innovative programs here in Mahila, aim to revolutionize the landscape of women's empowerment, skill development, entrepreneurship, and sustainable growth across various sectors. Our goal, eradicate poverty, attain financial security, and 100% food security in these countries. Our projects are 4, because we know that only 26% of women covered by full social security systems globally. The lack of support is amazing. Discrimination in the world of work traps many women in underpaid and informal jobs, perpetuating poverty. The 4 programs that we have here are Women's Empowerment and Career Center, Handicraft Workshop, the Agricultural and Innovation Lab, and number 4, Green Sustainable Living. How do we educate women to help eradicate poverty? The development community has long recognized that women's education is crucial to eradicate poverty. The World Bank highlights that this in 2018, when they estimated that limited educational opportunities for girls and barriers to completing 12 years of education cost countries between 15 trillion and 30 trillion. This is not just a human situation. This is a bottom line situation. When women are educated, they bring vital skills and knowledge to the workforce. They bring urgency, they drive productivity, and they spark innovation. Benefits are only achievable if we give women and girls access to great education. And I'm not talking about a 4, a 6, or an 8-year degree. That would be wonderful. But I'm talking education pertaining to allowing them to live with dignity, freedom, and prosperity. By supporting the initiatives that aim to empower women across the developing world, we give them the tool they need to succeed. Mahila Udiami is one of those. Our number one project with the program is the Women's Empowerment and Career Center. And I'm going to go very quickly over this. Improving the skills needed to create SMEs that directly will create employment opportunities in rural areas such as rice and wheat mills in order to provide food security for the villages in a safe and clean environment. And most importantly, in a formal environment. This center will nurture the space, will make it a safe haven so women can come if they're in a bad situation. The premise of the center is to drastically improve the quality of life by transforming villages into gender sensitive, economically empowered communities, in part by serving as instruments of knowledge that can allow women to achieve cultural, educational, and financial independence. And one of the ways we do this is by having our tech and computer center. In order to build the capacity of our participants to carry out business projects, especially in the agricultural sector, the center is providing training under 5 programs: a socioeconomic development program, a technical skills program, an information and awareness program, a volunteerism program, and a technology program. And I have to say, not that it's the most important, but it's key to their survival. It's the technology program. Also, the public-private partnerships is key to ensuring that all these participants have access to what they need. We have DigiSkills. We have computer labs. They're women that have never had a device on their hands. This is the first thing that we'll be attacking. Number 2 is the handicraft product workshop. I won't go very fast through this, but this is one of the things we want to make sure that all those beautiful artisanal products that are created from generation to generation are documented, that will sustain the time, that will be there, and that we can also find the most sustainable ways of continuing to doing this. But one of the most important things, and one of the ones that I love the most, is our Agriculture and Rural Research and Innovation Lab. It's called Green Goddix, and we have the only incubator for tech and sustainability programs and projects specifically created for women. This innovation lab, a cornerstone project within the Mahila Udiami Women's Empowerment and Business Hub, is dedicating to driving agricultural innovation and sustainable practices in rural communities. I want you to know that this is free for all the women that apply and that are chosen. They can stay with us between 3 and 6 months for free, where all their materials and all their projects will be 100% funded, where their stay and their food and lodging will also be funded, because we believe that in order to be sustainable, we have to give women and youth the opportunity to really live to their fullest potential. In addition to research initiatives and training programs, this lab or this incubator will create opportunities for agri-enterprises that promote sustainable agriculture and economic empowerment. These initiatives include establishing a pickling factory, organic harvesting practices, and a guest house that embodies eco-friendly principles. It's already up and running. You can visit us in E-Village in Swarna Valley. We are doing this today. This is not a wish. This is not a maybe. This is happening today if you visit us. The key initiatives, number 1, a pickling factory. We have so many fruit-bearing trees. We need to conserve. They're really good for composting. They're really good for the soil. But one of the most important things is also making sure that we can get all that harvest and make sure that our women, once they learn how to create their own businesses, they can be prosperous. The pickling factory will not only support local agriculture, but increasing the shelf life on seasonal produce, but also will promote food preservation. They will learn how to preserve, such as jams, preserves, and candies. And this would reduce the food waste and will contribute to developing a thriving agribusiness ecosystem within this community. Organic harvesting practices. The lab will promote organic farming practices that prioritize soil health, biodiversity, conservation, and sustainable agriculture. Through these training programs, workshops, and demonstration plots, women farmers will learn about organic farming techniques, composting, crop rotation, and pest management. All of this is very important in order for us to promote an ecological balance. Another one that I'm very excited about are our mud houses. We have traditional mud houses, and these are 100% eco-friendly. Within the lab, our women learn not only to take care of the guests that actually come, but they also show them. And they provide visitors with a sustainable and a very expansive rural experience that will align with our environmental conservation, our vision of what we want. Here in this
Sorry,
incredible
Right, it's not.
we also have utilized renewable energy sources. We control and we monitor our waste management systems, and we showcase eco-friendly practices such as rainwater harvesting, organic composting, and organic farming. I'm going very fast because I know that we don't have a lot of time. The initiatives produced by the Agriculture and Rural Research called Green Godex will have a transformative impact in this particular rural community, but our
Sorry.
Mahila Audience is global.
Your slide. It's not ruling.
Make sure that we reach out to rural women everywhere. We will pay for every single one of their days with us, and we want to make sure that when they leave, they have a grounding, but most important, a viable product. So to me, Mahila Udiami is very important. It is putting action where we put our words. And I think that every single one of you can actually do this. So in conclusion, I am here to say that we all need to get aligned. We all need to work. It's really great to participate in these events, but we need to put action where our words are. Thank you again for having me. I am here as a keynote speaker, so I am very, very excited. Thank you, Dr. Shrividya, for the wonderful work that you do, and every single one of you. Thank you. Your mic, Dr. Shrividya, we can't hear you. Your mic. We can't hear you, Dr. Shrividya.
Yes, yes,
There we
yes.
go.
Yeah, sure. So when we missed you from the keynote, I was really worried, and I thought, okay, something very important has been missed in today's session, but still you made it. Thank you so much. And really bringing into light about exactly what all things have to be taken into account when we talk about increasing participation key with citations from Mahila Udyami. And definitely these things are very key. It's not only for Mahila Udyami, overall, globally, with the universal outlook. As you say, what we can outline is that there should be an increased participation of women and youth in agro-food chain, and that can have numerous benefits. Taking few highlights from Mahila Udyami is that women and youth can really contribute to the increased food production, processing, and the distribution processes that will enhance the food security as well. And also, on the other hand, it will really, catalyze economic empowerment with that participation that can provide economic opportunities not only for women but also for youth as well. So, I think it's a very good takeaway for today, and not compromising on the other side of the innovation entrepreneurship aspects that we're talking about, SME, MSME, everything that will bring new ideas and perspectives for them, educating them, knowledge sharing, equipping them to combat in the modern world. It will be a drive kind of thing which will drive the innovation and entrepreneurship in all these agro food sector. Thank you so much. And the end of the day, with all this improved food security, food production, economic empowerment, with innovation entrepreneurship, where we are heading to, on the whole, it will sum up the rural development. Their increased participation will definitely contribute to the rural development of the poverty reduction challenges and opportunities, contributing to the UN parameters as well. Thank you. And if at all we're talking about, if these are the benefits that we're talking about, what could be the actual threats that we need to really focus and work on? Is that They should be given access to all the resources, equip them, empower them, educate them, work with them on the ground level, such that in terms of production or knowledge sharing, teaching them, training them, and also becoming them. Say, for example, as I will definitely moving away from this summary, I would definitely accept with Dr. Virginia when we talk about women empowerment. There are still women in the rural areas who don't know even to write the name, and they're not able to even write. If you're talking about Google Pay and all these things, they will be having high-tech mobile, but who is going to use them? So we need to educate these people on the ground level to make things happen. So thereby contributing to the capacity building, providing training and capacity building programs that will really help in this agro food chain market, which has a major share in the global GDP, definitely with the market access, linking women to the women and the youth. And also, so if these things have to happen, who has to be the guide? Who will be the driving force? Definitely the policymakers and the regulators should work on creating an actual enabling environment for the women and the youth to participate in these things. Definitely. So I think you have summed it up so well, and definitely with all these contributions, what we are heading to with under the big head of One Health Quarter per Diet, we will be able to achieve these things. I think so, definitely. Thank you, Dr. Virginia. I think that was a fair deal indeed. Thank you. So anybody else who would like to contribute? I'm sure Neha will have them.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for all the insights which you have given for today's session. See, I believe that whatever the topics, what we have covered till now in G20, everything is interrelated. Means in one part or other part, everything is so minutely interrelated with each other that we cannot now, with having that thing of achieving sustainability development goals, we cannot leave that one single part as well. So everything is so much interrelated that everything has to be taken care of in a well balanced way. It is not like that we will be achieving one thing and then we will be taking care of the other thing in a very slightest mood. So if we talk about today's topic in terms of health perspective or the topic of deliberation, what it is, I think all the topics, and in terms of the rural development, the rural health of women or youth, you beautifully portrayed it in terms of youth. So youth includes the women workforce, the male workforce as well. It's not like that, okay, we have to only considerate only about the women. So all in all, inclusively has to be taken together for achieving all these goals. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Virginia. That was a wonderful deliberation, and thanks for that keynote session as well. Sincere thanks that you were able to make it today with us. So on that note, may I request Ms. Neha to invite the next speaker, please.
So moving ahead with our next point of deliberation, I would like to invite Dr. R.S. Shaji. He's PhD in Computer Science and Engineering and is the former Dean and currently Professor at St. Xavier's Catholic College of Engineering, and also worked as Nurul Islam University with 29 years in software development, 26 years in teaching, and 18 years in research. He specializes in AI, cloud computing, cybersecurity, and smart grid computing. And he has guided 8 PhD scholars and published 70 plus research papers. He has extensive expertise in institutional accreditation, cloud architecture, and e-campus systems. Today, his point of deliberation is reducing the risk of emerging and re-emerging epidemics and pandemics. We welcome you on for this deliberation, sir. And over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please.
Yeah. Thank you for introducing me, and much glad to present you just for only 10 minutes and much generic also. Although I am an engineer by profession, today I have chosen to speak on a topic that deeply concerns the field of medicine and public health. I'm Dr. R. Shaji, an engineering doctorate and professor from St. Xavier's Catholic College of Engineering. Greetings from our college. I believe that addressing global health challenges requires collaboration across disciplines. At my talk, reducing the risk of emerging and re-emerging epidemics and pandemics purely reflects this intersection of healthcare, technology, and public policy. As we strive to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, especially SDG 3, SDG 1, no poverty, and SDG 10, reduced inequalities, these issues becomes increasingly vital. It is through such integrative approaches that we can build a more resilient and equitable future. And why this topic matters is emerging and re-emerging infectious diseases such as COVID-19, Ebola, are not merely health concerns, but ticking time bombs that threaten global stability and economic resilience. According to the World Health Organization, over 60% of these outbreaks are zoonotic in nature, meaning they originate from animals and can rapidly spread in densely populated regions, turning urban centers into potential epicenters of future pandemics. In response to these growing threats, the Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, has constantly emphasized the urgent need of strengthened disease surveillance systems and develop rapid response mechanisms capable of staying one step ahead of these evolving pathogens. We must consider the interconnected risks as social, economic, and environmental factors. They are intricately linked in shaping public health outcomes, especially in the context of disease containment and prevention. Socially, over 40% of individuals in low and middle income countries exhibit mistrust in healthcare systems, often due to cultural barriers, misinformation, and limited health literacy, factors that delay early intervention and worsen disease spread. Economically, more than 50% of low-income families, they lack access to essential preventive healthcare services, creating systematic health inequalities that allow manageable conditions to escalate into public health crisis. Environmentally, the global trend of rapid urbanization, adding approximately 2 lakhs people to urban areas daily, combined with poor waste management, increasing climate variability, contributes to the propagation of disease vectors and accelerates the transmission of infectious pathogens. These interconnected challenges underscore the urgent need for integrated cross-sectoral strategies in public health planning and policy. Here, community medicine emerges as a pivotal force with its holistic, population-centered approach, offering 3 critical interventions. It's very, very important. I found that community medicine, that was who are all working in that area, they are all really working very hard for this. Implementation of community-based awareness programs that are culturally sensitive and contextually relevant, breaking down barriers of mistrust and misinformation, strengthening of primary health care systems to ensure early detection, timely intervention, and equitable access to preventive services across socioeconomic states. Empowering community health workers to deliver localized grassroots level care, fostering trust and enable sustained behavioral change within communities. This is where the role of education becomes pivotal. The awareness it fosters is essential for building public health resilience, a point strongly emphasized by both UNESCO and the WHO, which advocate for education as a foundational pillar in promoting health equity and preparedness. Educational disparities directly affect the speed of disease detection and response. Localized health literacy combined using vernacular language and culturally appropriate materials are very essential. Moreover, the integration of digital health and surveillance systems, leveraging tools such as mobile diagnostics, AI-driven early warning mechanisms, and blockchain for secure vaccine delivery tracking, significantly enhances the efficiency, transparency, and responsiveness of public health interventions. The WHO's Global Outbreak Alert and Response Network, GON, and India's Integrated Disease Surveillance Program, IDSP, are foundational in this case. Furthermore, it is very essential to prioritize optimized vaccination programs and incorporate comprehensive preparedness strategies, where we would witness where everyone has given the same dose of vaccination, and that has some sort of later effects. And I directly felt it. So these preparedness strategies into public health policies to effectively address these intertwined challenges. The QUACS initiative led by WHO, Gavi, and CEPI demonstrated the power of global collaboration. Equitable vaccine access with personalized medicine for precision medicine remains a priority. As per ICMR guidelines, localized vaccine strategies should be informed by regional data, socioeconomic factors, and disease prevalence. Beyond these factors, environmental resilience, particularly climate change and sanitation, plays a pivotal role in shaping disease dynamics and public health outcomes. The UN's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, notes that warming temperatures expand the range of vector-borne diseases. Sustainable urban planning, effective waste management, and clean water access are core to risk reduction. As an engineer and a member of the broader professional community, I see significant potential to address these complex challenges through innovative technologies. Leveraging smart infrastructure can enhance real-time monitoring of environmental and social factors, while sensor-based disease surveillance enables early detection and rapid response to outbreaks. Drone-based delivery systems can overcome access barriers by transporting critical medical supplies to underserved or remote areas efficiently. Additionally, AI-driven predictive modeling can analyze vast data sets to forecast disease patterns and optimize resource allocation, ultimately strengthening healthcare resilience and equity. These technologies, when aligned with community medicine strategies, can transform healthcare delivery. Global and local collaborations play a critical role in strengthening health security. The WHO's international health regulations and the UN's Global Health Security Agenda actively promote multi-sectoral partnerships to enhance preparedness and response capabilities worldwide. At the national level, initiatives such as Ayushman Bharat and PM ABHIM are strategically designed to build resilient healthcare infrastructure, improve accessibility, and ensure equitable health outcomes. And now I want to conclude with these points. Mitigating the risk of epidemics and pandemics requires a multifaceted approach. Robust community-based interventions to empower local action, seamless integration of advanced technologies within healthcare systems to enhance detection and response, comprehensive financial schemes to safeguard vulnerable populations, strategic environmental planning to reduce disease transmission, and strong international cooperation to coordinate global efforts. By uniting engineering innovations, medical science, and active community participation, we can collectively build a resilient and healthier future for all. Thank you, and thanks for the opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
So much, sir, for presenting the point of deliberation very precisely. I will invite and request Dr. Hema ma'am to share a summary of the point of deliberation which has been shared by Mr. Shaji.
Thank you very much. Dr. Shaji, being an engineering core person, has extensively dealt on controlling the epidemic, pandemic, re-emerging pandemic. It was truly amazing session, sir. And as
thank
sir
you.
has
Thank you.
told about the medical council actions and the Ayushman Bharat digital initiative which is going on, the infrastructure, what is the creation of infrastructure so that all rural community people have access. All these points sir has touched, and sir has also told about the robust communication techniques, what is essential, seamless integration of medicals and the blockchain interventions and the comprehension and how to take vaccination and the blockchain, what is required for vaccination and things like that. And sir has also told about the community participation, which is very essential, the role of community medicine and the role of community nurses to impart education to the community people regarding various aspects. Education is the key, sir has rightly said, which is very essential to combat or to prevent the spread of epidemics and re-emerging epidemics and pandemics. It was truly amazing, sir. Thank you very much for your session.
Thank you, Hema ma'am. That was a brilliant summary indeed. Really, even Shaji sir, you have covered almost all the points which are actually, when we're talking about the threats, actually Dr. Hema was very clearly mentioning about AMR and pandemics and everything, and how it is going to affect and what all things to be done. Your presentation gave that very clear, strategically, very guideline through and through, as I would say, it was a silk route kind of thing, which really talked about strengthening global health security as such, by improving surveillance and the detection point of it, and thereby enhancing the global surveillance and capacities to identify the emerging threats easily. I think if it would have been there, COVID would not have been there, definitely. And strengthening the health systems with strong forces that can detect, respond, and manage the health emergencies, and thereby promoting international cooperation, fostering international cooperation, collaboration to share the information. As ma'am said, educating people, coordinating responses, and supporting each other, thereby enhancing the preparedness and the responses. So when we do that, when we give them recommendations, immediately we have to step into the field of restoration by giving them the remedials. How to restore? Restore measure means you will have to give them the ways how to suggest remedials and how to get into the action plan by developing the national action plan, by implementing the national action plan to prepare and respond for the public health and emergencies, by conducting regular exercises and drills. That is something has to be noted down. Definitely with the emerging trends of obesity and all these things. So if we really act on these things, these kind of emerging diseases can be really controlled, even in terms of not only for humans but also for animals. And also with the risk of pandemic and zoonotic diseases, which are the real threats. And also, by end of the day, it is all coming to the hands of policymakers and the people who are in the government and authorities to implement all these suggestions. And definitely, we'll have to really look into how to go about it. Maybe like. Instead of addressing on a large scale, in the universal scale, I think we can work on the communities categorically in groups, the different groups, etc. This is easy to address and this is easy to implement in the local community. What is requirements of the local community requirements? Thank you, sir. That was a wonderful deliberation indeed. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And on that note, can we please welcome the next speaker, Ms. Neha? Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for the point of deliberation. Thank you, Shaji sir and Dr. Hema ma'am for the summary. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Jelena Boswick. She is the advisor to the president of Belgrade Metropolitan University, Belgrade, Republic of Serbia, and director of IRASA Institute in Belgrade, Republic of Serbia. She has taught by invitation at various higher educational institutions in the regions and the other countries in the world, and mentored 41 and members of commission of 60 doctoral dissertations, 110 masters and master theses, mentor of 780 graduate theses, over 10,000 created wheat hybrids according to the leaf rust pathogen of wheat. Her point of deliberation today is the global upsurge of food and water safety hazards. Over to you, ma'am, and welcome to the session.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good morning, good day, good evening. Respect Dr. Srividya Sikamar, scientist, university professor, experts, students, ladies and gentlemen. I have a special thanks for the invitation, Dr. Srividya Sikamar, to be guest speaker and extend my warm regards to the organizer, the important to the deliberate and the topic on health, qualified agriculture, food security, health is wealth, GVC pattern. is very important conference. This topic that I will present today was financed from the project entitled Improving Sustainability and Competitiveness in Organic Crops and Livestock Production by Applying New Technology and Input, finding from the Ministry of Science and Technology Development of Republika of Serbia. I am a project manager. Science for the benefits of all of use. How can we discuss genetics, which is the foundation of life for all living beings on planet Earth, when science has not yet proven the exact origin of life? Is man planning with a life the disease not now? Many now live a habit for humanity. I am a scientist, a university professor, and I study the philosophy of science. Topic today, application of genetics, engineering, technology in agriculture, and the environment impact. We will the presentation, and I so long-term career, scientific and university professor, only examined the scientific results from the presentation. I never read the presentation, but have a discussion that will follow this important field in the 21st century. We change the safety of food, the environment, and the health of population. Share, please. Share, please. Now my presentation.
You can share it, ma'am.
Now. I have is a beautiful presentation. No, I don't know. I have beautiful presentation. Genetic modified plants. Share.
Can I
No.
suggest something? You can share your presentation in the chat box.
No.
Download it and present it.
No. I don't know. I don't know. Problem my laptop. Application technology are considered genetic engineering in agriculture with the introduction of genetic modified abbreviation GM plants are constantly creating new opportunity to increase crop production and solve problem in agriculture such as diseases, pests, weeds, abiotic stress, and nutritional limitation. These are formed and plant having, please, plant having diseases is a big problem. But these are formed and plant having new property to enable their use in pharmaceutical manufacture. As the genetic modified plants and crops, introduction to various location characterization by variety of ecosystem, type of agriculture, biodiversity, and agriculturally practice, it is necessary to scientific understanding of effects of growing GM plants on the environment, which will provide security and environmental sustainability. The most important research, I focus on the intensive of the genetic modified plants or crops, vertical and horizontal gene transfer, the impact of biological diversity and agrobiological diversity and other products. These tests are very complex, multi, inter, and transdisciplinary. This lecture discusses some of the most important problems related to the application of the technology of genetic engineering in agriculture and the introduction of GM plants into environment, such as plant protection, ecological effects of horizontal gene transfer, biodiversity, stress, effects of land, etc. There is clear need to future investigate the size and the scope of the risk spreading of transgenic plants in assessing in relation GM plants and existing variety and more detailed knowledge of the development of genetic modified plants and provide cleaner, more reliable and precise direct activity in plant science. Important genetic modified plants, genetic modified crops, environment, plant protection, HRC, HTG, gene flow. Genetic manipulation have been commonly used throughout modern plant selection, including new combination of new genes, artificial manipulation of the number of chromosomes, the development of addition, substitution, and breed contamination specific chromosomes, chemical and radioactive treatment among to induce mutation and chromosome rearrangement, cell, tissue, and embryo culture, in vitro fertilization and fusion of protoplasts for detection of interspecies and genius hybridization. Integration of this technology have made great contribution to genetic improvement, the yield, adaptation to environment, as well improving the quality that was permanently required by both food production and consumer. Development in molecular biology and genetic engineering, and especially today, 21st century CRISPR-Cas technology, enabled efficient modification on cultivated plants and animals. These technologies may have adverse impact of the environment, human health, increased poverty. During the forthcoming period, is necessary to divide more attention to commercially and economically justify use of genetic modified crops in the agriculture, food production. In this respect, linking science and politics should facilitate an overall assessment of acceptability and spread of genetic modified crops. There are still significant disagreements about access to each sustainability, globalization, ethics, and socioeconomic approach should be part of the risk assessment of GM crops used in most countries. Plant protection and genetically modified crops. Major plant protection consideration about GM crops are the possibility incorporation of resistant genes into insect, fungi, and bacterial pathogen, virus, emphasizing the long period resistance as the main problem of the pest plant protection by genetic modification, and demonstrated by the use of Bt toxin from Bacillus thuringiensis, successfully used a spray for many years. That has been introduced in a number of plant species such as tomato, tobacco, cotton, etc. It has been provided that pen-lecithin protect against insect attacking transgenic potato and tobacco. Trypsin inhibitor protein of powder pan has also been used. Genetic modified plants provide great possibility of benefits of the environment by reduced pesticide use, the development of pest resistance. However, these advantages can quality derived their possibility strategy of exposure, reduction of pests to transgenic products, thus leaving resistance, applying restrict transgenic action is a big problem. Pesticides in impact in insects, butterfly, monarchy, monarch butterfly. In addition, there is the development multiple resistance strategy toward different virulence of plant parasite. I am pyramiding resistant genes in the pathogen of weed Puccinia recondita in this period in international project. Horizontal gene transfer is transfer the genetic material between cells on genome that belong to different species during process that differ from common reproduction. During basic reproduction process, genes are transferred vertical from parents of their offspring. Bacteria are known to participate in gene exchange between different species in nature. It's performed via three mechanisms during conjugation and genetic material passed between cell by transduction, where genetic material is transferred from the cell infecting virus in another, and transformation genetic material is taken directly from the cell of environment. Is a very important horizontal transfer gene in material food product, especially special honey, plasmid, a gene of genetic parasites such as virus, plasmids and rasposome have significantly higher ability to successfully transfer into cell genome in such manner they function as vectors for horizontal transfer gene regulating inner characteristic in organism linkage of the specific ecological condition. Evidence of horizontal transgenic DNA transfer is believed that once incorporated transgenic DNA becomes stable. However, this body evidence evidence of this assumption. There are molecular data prove structural stability transgenic DNA with regard its location, point penetration into genome and gene arrangement within the following generation. Special gene for herbicide tolerance incorporated into through plant arabidopsis with a vector can show to up 13 times stronger vector evocans behavior, specific mutagenesis, DNA from homozygous plant live following transgenic plants, Solanum tuberosum, potato, Nicotiana tabacum, etc. Is very interesting. Genetic engineering plants, stress tolerance and plant resistance to herbicides. Great efforts have been directed also toward increase of crop tolerance toward herbicide and has been tested worldwide. Herbicide tolerance can be achieved through increased protective mechanism by reduction of herbicide and degradation of reducers susceptible. I and my colleague, Professor Konstantinovich, herbicide tolerance I widely use market introgenic plant selection in a project with international corporation Monsanto. Quality characteristic of genetic plants. Transgenic diversity is directly toward incorporated produce derived from the cultivated plants. The effects of these changes, the whole plants are affected in their metabolism and the intermediate interest and their commercial application. A special project much work United States is very expensive. Non-cultivate population of transgenic plants, possibility transgenic and plants introduced will highly depend their adaptive capability or new environment. New environment is future work of gene spreading in population can be necessary during assessment of the potential transgenic disparity. Such assessment become particularly improvement in analyzing and possibility of transgenic transfer from cultivate from a related species. Gene transfer from crops to weed global group For weed have identified 3 crops that have sexually compatibility with relative for which is probably that will subject to gene transfer in agriculture system. Breeding via pollination and production, factory hybrid variety coast to coast is risk environment and damage. Role of agriculture with ecology in accidental hybridization, with ecology and evolutionary biology are high importance in assessment of perspective of accidental flow resistant transgenic crops. Interesting transgenic integration and with adaptation, evolutionary process that follow hybridization built certainly by many ecological with property in ecosystem of cultivated place, nature of this system is prevalent only for strongly expressed factor with bee population regulation. Is very interesting genetic engineering, spiritual and dispersion and bee colonization. Efficient spatial dispersion seeds considered a primary feature of weed. In interesting influence of gene plane's impact on biodiversity, characteristic transgenic monitoring, ecological monitoring of GM crops in complex ecosystem need commercialization. My conclusion, my lecture. Biotechnology, alongside the introduction of the genetically modified crops, constantly providing new opportunity when assessing genetic modified crops interrelation to the existing cultivar in increased knowledge base with entrepreneuring the development of genetic modified crops will provide greater confidence in plant science will apply risk and benefits of realizing such much scientists in work in problem genetic engineering, especially editing gene, CRISPR technology, talent, think, etc. Genetic is a complex science. Complex science is very interesting, is very dangerous science. Dangerous science, no atomic physics. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, my presentation, I don't know, complete my complex laptop, my complex. I'm sorry. I have is a specially presentation, genetic modified engineering, CRISPR technology, zinc technology, metabolic process, phototronic, and much genetics mission in our life. Thank you very much, dear Professor Srividya. Thank you for your invitation. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Concluding with that, the global upsurge of the food and water safety hazards when we talk about it. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for really having thrown light on the significant risks to human health, economic stability and environmental stability in terms of globalization and trade which has created opportunities for contaminants that are spread across borders, with climatic change that has altered environmental conditions, increasing the risks and waterborne and foodborne illness. Many things that, as you mentioned about the genetic illness and the epidemic illness and etc. And thereby it is actually like on the other side, the rapid population growth and urbanization has also contributed to this pressure on food and water systems, increasing the risk for the contamination, as we are highlighting on exactly all kind of biodiversity measures that we're talking about, and Ramsar effort or whatever thing that we're talking about. So the intensive agriculture and animal production can increase the risk for contamination, and also antimicrobial resistance, that is AMR. Again, when we talk about it
Yes.
is all coming up there with inadequate infrastructure and regulation contributing and catalyzing all these things. This has to be handled first with the one with the real threat is the inadequate infrastructure with the regulatory norms and the enforcement that can compromise on the food water safety there. And thereby, in fact, end of the day, as you rightly sum it up, who is suffering? The human, the animal, the living beings who are there are suffering from many problems as such gastrointestinal symptoms or even some of the life-threatening illnesses that are being, has been on the increasing mode. Thereby, governments are left with lack of funds to fund this or to provide the medical facilities. Thereby, another thing with the havoc which is contributing from the pharmacy sector as such, with in terms of competence between the market trends. So there always have other kind of medicines with the replacement, and thereby we are not able to actually address this food and water hazard. Thereby it is just increasing day by day. So what is the need of the hour is the regulatory framework being strengthened with enforcement mechanisms that will ensure food and water safety.
Yes.
We have to necessarily improve the infrastructure, including water treatment, sanitation systems, basic sanitation systems, which is not actually being there, which is coming up, which is on the evolution process now in many of the countries, to reduce the risk of contamination, and thereby we will be able to support sustainable agriculture, animal production practices to reduce the contamination and antimicrobial resistance, enhancing public awareness and education. Thereby, the main thing is, as Dr. Was mentioning in the first thing, to create awareness, to create public awareness, to educate people about food and water safety hazards, and promote behavioral change. Because when we talk about, when we say that these are the rules that we need to follow, definitely there is a responsibility from the stakeholders' side to abide by it, to go by it, not to violate it. So we need to educate people for that. Definitely, this will definitely give a helping hand there with constant research and development of the new technologies and new innovations, inventions which are coming up that will really help people and also the humans to make our planet a better, healthy planet and a safe planet to live in. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You are very genetics. You are very genetics. Understanding genetics, complex. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Genetics is our life. Our life. Thank you very much. Thank you. Excellent discussion. Genetics, flow gene, food, agriculture, climate change, much problem, dear professor. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Your big knowledge, a different science. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. May I request Ms. Neha to welcome the next speaker, please.
Dr. Jelena for all the insights, and it is always a pleasure to hear from you every time. Next, we would like to invite Dr. Venkat Reddy. He's MD Naturopathy Ayurvedic Medical Research Scientist. He's also an international yoga trainer. He's currently the MD, CEO, and founder of Dr. VJP Pharma Private Limited, Hyderabad. He has invented 33 Ayurvedic formulations for all kinds of chronic health issues, be it cancer, paralysis, infertility, indigestion, diabetes, medicine, etc. And for the last 25 years, Dr. Venkat Reddy has been doing research in premier research institutions like Indian Institute of Chemical Technology, IICT, CSIR, and the University of North Carolina, USA, the West Research Institute, Institute of Technology, USA, and also he has worked in American University of Sharjah, UAE. Dr. Reddy has 33 granted patents from USA, Japan, European, and Indian worldwide. And he has also published a book in nanotechnology applications in various fields with German publishers. Today, his point of deliberation is links between the health of the environment, human, animals, and planets. We welcome you, sir, for the point of deliberation, and over to you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, Neha ji. And Srividya ji. Actually, my job is very easy here. Last 4 speakers have discussed many things related to my topic, really. This, what I'm going to discuss, they have already mentioned many, all they have covered. Srividya ji, last talk, Srividya ji covered almost many things. Really, thank you, Srividya ji, and Neha, and all eminent speakers. It's a great opportunity to discuss. It's a great opportunity to discuss about links between the health of the environment and human, animals, and plants. This one, the health of the human, animals, and plants, and the environment are deeply interconnected with the one health. This is the challenges we face here. Many things involved in this, the deforestation, for example, zoonotic diseases called like Ebola, and very recently we have exposed to pandemic like Corona. World have faced many problems using this deforestation, and the connectivity with the human and the plants and the environment, and these are the very interconnected. Why means these the, for example, if zoonotic disease means these are animals, human exposed to the diseases with the human. This is called zoonotic. Like we have many things involved in this, like One Health approaches. One Health approaches is like interconnected with the health, emphasizes to the health, human, plants, and the environment is interconnected. And the other thing is that integrated approach. Integrated approach means we have all the systems in one platform. Like we have to protect the environment, then only animals and the plants and the human will be good in environment. If deforestation takes place, means humans will disturb. For example, deforestation takes place means that oxygen levels will decreasing, climate changes will increases. Climate changes means global warming. All these are the issues that we are facing now. All these 4 systems are interconnected. Why these are 4 systems? One system disturbed means other will also affected with the very affected. Why like that? We have the, for example, if you expose to the zoonotic diseases means many diseases contaminated with these animals to the human being, like it is Ebola, like a rabies kind of things. Okay, this is the excess use of the antimicrobial resistance. It's like a misuse of the antibiotics. So both animals and the humans are more affected with this excess use of the antibiotics and environmental connection. If you, for example, if you pollution increases, if you plants are deforesting and the urbanization, plants are cutting, and these are the effect of the less oxygen. If the plants are giving more oxygen to the humans and the animals. If you deforestation takes place, means this environment will get disturbed, and you are suffocating with this oxygens and other things also. Global warming also increases under global warming. Like this climate changes. If you take this deforestation and the climate changes means like a climate will change and increasing of the temperature. Nowadays you are observing that same deforestation takes place. The global warming leads to the other things are if it is a system, if you have the good system in the food safety, again animals and the humans are good. If you have the food chain is not good, if the lifestyle is also not good, it's exposed to the many diseases. Like like that we have interconnected with the environment with the human life. This is the actually like this we have the pollution, deforestation and urbanization. Pollution also increasing. If you take the where we are living in Delhi, we are facing many problems. Like with this deforestation, environment is also changing, global warming, and again that oxygen levels are very low in our Indian capital Delhi. There's many people are getting asthmas and kind of problems they're facing. Like that, the protecting environment is the very important. Like the excess uses of the vehicles and the pollution, exposure to pollution. Very recently, and I'm in the medical field. I'm using I'm listening this very new diseases which are we are not unable to think about this also. Like for example, very recently I received a call from the Delhi. Many people are exposed to the breathing problems because of this pollution and the excess use of the antibiotics. Like that, we have the many issues in this. Protecting the environment is very important. Increasing the food safety and the improve the human health. All these are the factors influencing the biodiversity, enhanced biodiversity, and the reducing the risk of the emerging diseases. All these are the interconnected. Actually, how you can control the system, how you can control the environment means that you have to foresting and you have to interconnection with this all four systems. If you protect the environment means environment is very important, and the humans also affected, plants also very important for us. Plants are giving good food to the humans. If deforestation means very food chain is disturbed. Food chain disturbed means it's like a gene modified food and other antibiotics used, non-vegetarians. You are many diseases they are exposing to their immune system their immune levels are decreasing compared to less used medicine. All these are the factors influencing the environment. These are the main conclusion in this. You have to health is very important. Human health and environment, plants and environmental health are very important to protect the one health system means all these are the interconnected with this. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. That was a wonderful contribution indeed. May I request Dr. Mamta Chawla to do the summary for Dr. Reddy, please? Dr. Mamta?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Good morning as per the time frame. So it was very interesting how Venkatesh sir tried to really highlight few of the new aspects that yes, as per the concern, specifically how we need to take care of what is happening all around. So citing the cases of pandemic and how we need to think about health and hazards and be conscious that awareness really it's everyone's role. It's not specific to scientists only. So highlighting the major concerns, I think that was wonderful how he handled, and very brief time duration he highlighted the major facts that we all need to address. So I would hand over to Srividya ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Mamta. Thank you. Very kind of you. Dr. Reddy, thank you so much. As usual, what else can we expect from Dr. Reddy, who is a scientist, who is a practicing doctor and a practitioner in terms of when it comes to the health of the environment and the humans and animals and plants, as it was very briefly introduced by Dr. Ms. Neha as well. The health of environment with, there are so many factors which are contributing to it, as he rightly mentioned, the air and the water quality. First thing is starting from the nature. The poor air and water quality can lead to any kind of respiratory problem,
cancer, any other human issues that can come up with and also like another parallelly what is going on in climatic change which is being going on, and that can increase the spread of the diseases. That is really contributing to the spread of the disease, and heat stress and other problems, etc. With the exposure of the pollutants which are being there, such as pesticides and heavy metals and everything. And definitely what is at stake is the environmental health, and the animal health is at stake. With habitat destruction, like loss of biodiversity, stress, and etc. Even animal population. So many animals have become endangered. And definitely the pollution also contributing to this and exposing them to the toxic chemicals and the plastics. So many hazards which are being environmentally, all these things are contributing. Thereby, this climatic change is altering the ecosystem, the present ecosystem, disrupting food chains with the increased stress on animal populations, etc. So, what we need to work on is the soil quality to have good crop yields, and definitely with increased plant nutrition and making it more secure. Water availability, water scarcity, getting rid of the water scarcity, making water available with any kind of measures that ma'am was mentioning before, rain harvestation or whatever thing, or focusing and channelizing the rainwater in a proper way in terms of reservoirs and dams and everything, water conservation projects, making water available throughout. And recently in Africa, they've discovered a new way of getting water from air. So all these things, all these innovations have to continuously go on such that it contributes more and more to enhance the health factor which is being there. And with that, and definitely as Dr. Reddy was mentioning, this One Health is more kind of a constitutional approach that will recognize the interconnectedness between the human health and the animal health and the environmental health. We can't see, though there are 3 different sectors in it, but all are interrelated, interconnected. When it forms the whole ecosystem of providing the essential services, including air, water, when it comes to and soil, basically. And all these things really contributing to the biodiversity factor, enhancing the ecosystem and the health, ecosystem and the health and the resilience factor of it, thereby having sustainable practices that will really help for any kind of health, safety and sustainable living. Thank you. Thank you. More holistic, sustainable living. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Reddy. That was a wonderful contribution indeed. And it's always a pleasure working with you, and it's always an honor to have you amidst us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
May I request Ms. Neha to invite the next speaker?
Thank you, Dr. Reddy, for all the insights which you have shared about the topic, which is a holistic topic in itself. Thank you so much. And next, we would like to invite Mr. George Isaac, and he's a legal consultant, lawyer from Santa Maria University, Peru, doctorate in law and administration from Federico Viral National University, Peru, president of Interdisciplinary School of Fundamental Rights, Peru. He's an author, co-author, director, and co-director of more than 150 books in various legal branches with a focus of fundamental rights and interdisciplinary, published in 18 countries. And today his point of deliberation is also the global upsurge of food and water safety hazards. We welcome you, sir, for this point of deliberation, and over to you.
Thanks, President Doctor. Very grateful. G20, International One Planet Cabinet 2025, and the Dr. Shirvira Sukumar. In this opportunity, we talk about the pending agenda as global food and water security has requires. Access to safe and nutritious food and water is a fundamental human right. However, an absorption of global hazards threatens world food and water security, demanding an urgent and multifaceted agenda. This text will explore the most pressing challenges and propose concrete actions to mitigate them. First, situation diagnosis. This point apply for all themes, for all thematics. In this sense, climate change with like situation diagnosis with this increasing frequent and intense extreme weather events, droughts, floods, heat waves, and determining factor in food and water insecurity. Climate variability directly affects crop fields or yields the ability and water for irrigations and access to drinking water source. Prolonged droughts, for example, drastically reduce agricultural production, while floods can destroy entire crops and contaminate water source. The situation is exacerbated in already vulnerable regions, exacerbated provided inequality. Another crucial factor is the degradation and natural resource, deforestation, soil erosion, and in overexploitation of aquifers reduce the productivity of ecosystems and their capacity provide food and water. Biodiversity loss also plays an important role, reducing the resilience and agricultural systems and the ability of genetic resource for adapting to climate change. The growing world population projected exceed 9 billion people in the coming decades, increases pressures on weather and agricultural resource. The growing demand for food and water combined with inefficient management of these resources, intensifies competition and the risks of conflict. Accelerate urbanization also contributes to pressure on resource, with increases demand for water in cities and increases generation of waste that can pollute water source. Armed conflicts and political instability are another significant challenge. Conflict disrupt food and water supply, change, destroy agriculture and water infrastructure, and displace entire populations, leaving millions of people vulnerable. Lack of access to basic resource in conflict, some exacerbates food and water insecurity, creating a various cycle of poverty and violence. Finally, the lack of investment in research, innovation in agriculture and water management limits the capacity to adapt and mitigate risks. Greater investment in climate resilient technologies, sustainable agricultural practices, and efficient water management systems need ensure long-term food and water security. Second, we talk about the actions for a food and water security agenda. The address the challenges poses a comprehensive agenda involving governments, international organizations to provide sector to civil society is required. This agenda should focus on the following actions. Then we talk the climate change mitigations, reduces greenhouse gas emissions is fundamental to curbing climate change and the impacts on food and water security. This involves turning renewable energy, improving energy efficiency, and promoting sustainable agricultural practice. Then we talk about the sustainable management of natural resources. The protection and reforestation of ecosystems, the sustainable management of soil requires, and the promotion of biodiversity are crucial to ensure the long-term availability of food and water. This requires the implementation of policies, the intensive conservation and responsible management of natural resources. Then investment in research and innovation, research and development of climate resilient technologies, drought and flood resistant crop varieties, and efficient water management systems are essential to improve agricultural productivity and water security. Then we talk the strengthening governance, transparency, and citizen participation in the management of water and agricultural resource are essential to ensure equity and sustainability. This involves creating sound regulator and frameworks and promoting this participation of local communities in decision making. Then international cooperation. International cooperation is essential for sharing knowledge, technologies, and research to address global food and water security challenges. This involves strengthening cooperation mechanisms between countries and mobilizing financial research to support developed countries. Then education and awareness. The education and public awareness of the importance of food and water security are crucial to promote behavior challenge and encourage the adoption of sustainable practice. In conclusion, the heightened threats of global food and water security call for an urgent and coordinated response, implementing a comprehensive agenda that address the challenge poses critical to ensure access to safe and nutritious food and water for all, contributing to a more sustainability and equality future. Failure to act will have devastating global consequences. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. George. Professor, it was a wonderful note that you have left with, and well, taking into consideration of the globalization, the trade factor, climatic change, population growth and urbanization, intensive agriculture, animal production, etc., with the, again, inadequate infrastructure and regulation being there, definitely on the whole, it is affecting the human health aspects. Safety hazards are there, and also having country-wise economical impacts, environmental impacts definitely are there. With proper regulatory frameworks and improved infrastructure and promoting sustainable practices, enhancing public awareness and education, with sufficient research and development, adequate research and development, will be able to address these issues, and we can reduce the risks associated with the hazards and protect the human health and environment. Thank you, Mr. George. That was a wonderful presentation indeed. Yes, thank you. It's always a pleasure having you, and we would like to work with you more and more. Thank you. Ms. Neha, can we invite the next speaker, Dr. Anjum Qureshi, if she's there? Otherwise, we can invite Mr. Vimal.
So the next, we would like to invite Dr. Anjum Nazir Qureshi. She's working as an assistant professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering at Rajiv Gandhi College of Engineering, Research and Technology, Chandrapur. She's a certified life coach, motivational speaker, and certified meditation trainer. She has published 20 plus research papers, 4 patents, 52 articles, and authored 9 book chapters. She's the author of the book 10 Core Life Skills, Mastering Communication Skills, and the Internet of Things, a hands-on approach. And today her point of deliberation is increasing participation of women and youth in agro-food chains. We welcome you, ma'am, on this platform, and over to you.
I think she's not there. We lost her there. It's better to call, invite Mr. Vimal, and then by the time we'll check for Dr. Anjum Qureshi.
Okay, we would like to call Mr. Vimal on this point of deliberation today. He has completed his post-graduation in thermal engineering from Government College of Technology, Coimbatore. Currently, he is pursuing his research in hydrodynamic behavior and separation performance of the multi-hydro cyclone through CFD and experimental approach. He has 9 years of teaching experience. He is actively involved in placement and internship activities for the department. And his point of deliberation is today putting in place the right trade policies for a sustainable SME, MME for cultural and heritage global economy. We welcome you, sir, for this point of deliberation, and over to you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Neha, ma'am. Hope I am audible.
Yes, you are. Please.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So I am Vimal, assistant professor working for Sri Ishwar College of Engineering. And it's my pleasure to be in one of the speaker in this One Planet Cabinet. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, ma'am. Let me move on to the slide.
It is loaded, sir. Actually, we are able to view the screen.
Okay, ma'am. Hope my presentation is visible.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, let me continue, ma'am. The area of discussions are the challenges in global trade, then GI products of G20, then core elements of trade policy, then the need for the trade policy. So these are the areas in which I'm going to discuss about in this session. First one, the challenges in global trade. Among all the challenges, I have listed the top four challenges. The first one is the tariff and non-tariff barriers for the heritage products, then followed by digital exclusion in global marketplace. Then third one is the limited sustainable financing for small heritage enterprises. Then the last one is inadequate IP and GI protections. For example, the tariff and non-tariff barriers, if you take for an example, is Indian handloom export. It has a higher tariff of about 14%, 12%, while it is exported to the EU, European Union. And on the other hand, there is the complexity is there for the non-tariff barriers also, like reach and product standards. So, however, the weavers are seeking hand of intermediators. So it acts like a barrier. So this need to be overcome. This is a challenge. Then similarly, when you consider the African craft sellers, it is coming under the digital exclusion in global markets. Many of them, nearly only less than 5% of the persons know to use the global platforms, global marketplaces. The remaining 95% or cannot able to do the global market platforms because they know about the craftsmen, but they are not well about the global platforms. So this acts like a barrier. It may be a language barrier, or it may be a payment barrier or digital tools. So in this way, it acts like a challenge. So it also need to be overcome. Then the limited sustainable financing. A speaker from Peru has came today for speaking in our session. In Peru, it's located in Western South America. There, people will be involved in alpaca wool cooperatives, where they are in need of some financial supports which are overlooked by ESGs. So it need to be seen effectively by providing some funds, and it is an eco-friendly practice because it doesn't harm the environment. It protects the environment. It is a eco-friendly environment. So like this, challenges are faced by the SME and the MME entrepreneurs. Then the last one is the inadequate IP and GI protections. So GI, you all know that the geographic identification. The well-known dispute is the basmati rice GI, whether it is going for India or for Pakistan. So like that, there is a lack of resources among the communities to protect their heritage IP address, intellectual property. So here are the 4 challenges which need to be overcome. So followed by the challenges, I want to just give a glimpse over the GI products of or others G20. For example, the King Island cheese is the GI product of Australia. Then coral pears, the GI product of China. Then Montauk white pepper, Indonesia. So dates, you all know that, GI product of Saudi Arabia. So blanket, Turkey, apples and oranges, or Washington and Florida. So in this scenario, I came to know about all those GI products, what the G20 countries are following. Then similarly, many countries in G20 are having the GI products as wine, spirits, beer, camphor. So a product named tequila. It is a spirit from blue gay plant. And cider drink. All these are the GI products of Argentina, France, German, Mexico, Russia, UK, and meat. And as usual, meat and Burma ham, beef, all these are the GI products. Even crab also is a GI product. They have got the patent for this GI product in Canada, Italy, Japan, and South Korea. So it's a small guess. Brazil has the GI product of coffee, and India, Darjeeling tea, and South Africa, a popular herbal tea, that is rooibos. So this is the GI products of all the G20 nations. Hope you have been known to the things. Few might not be known about this. This will be giving a glance over the GI products of other G20 countries. Then coming back to the core elements of trade policies. The number 1, the challenges need to be overcome. For those, I have listed few policies, trade policies, there which we can able to face those challenges. The first one is trade, fair trade and ethical sourcing. So we have to reduce the trade. At the same time, the streamlining of trade should be done for the heritage products, right? Then recognize the heritage products as sensitive goods with transparency and traceability. So we need to have the loophole from where it is obtained. What is the source from where it is obtained? Like that, the transparency and transmissibility should be there. Then support should be lended for the local artisans. So this is the policy element 1, in which fair trade is emphasized. Then policy element 2 is digital inclusiveness, because many people don't know about the digital platform, how to market their products digitally. So there they lack. If that is lagging, then the global economy, what we are talking about, all those things will be going down. Each and every corner of the country should be developed to get the global economy of the nation. So for that, adequate learning, what we have been emphasizing, should be insisted in nook and every corners of the world. So G20 digital trade platforms for the artisans, then training in e-commerce, then digital marketing should be done, then tools for transmissibility and online verification, authorized with verification should be taught to the entrepreneurs. Then number 3, sustainable and ethical supply chains. The global sustainability labeling for the cultural product should be done. So the label denotes that this product belongs to the GI of this nation. Like that, then a labeling should be done. Then encourage the circular economy and green practice. like the renewable energy, the energy efficiency, then material sourcing, then eco-friendly packing. All these are some of the supports that can be extended to do the sustainable development. Then the last one is the IP and GA protection, what I emphasized for all those countries. Harmonize, first one is harmonize GA protection across all the 20 nations. Then legal aid for communities to register the traditional IP, because the source is missing, in lagging. For that only the challenges are coming into picture. So those source, adequate source should be lended to every countries so that they can able to aid the legal communities to register their IP. Then the strengthen enforcement mechanism against cultural appropriation. Then final one, the need for the trade policy. When a SME and MME develops, job creation and community will develop. It preserves the identity and tradition for a nation, whatever the nation may be. The SME, MME culture preserves an identity, give the identity for the tradition. So for that, we need to face all those challenges, what I have insisted. And apart from those challenges, the elements, the policy elements, what I have listed, need to be focused on. It is my point of view. Then the financial and global partnership, the partners like NUESCO, then World Trade Organization, WIPO, for protection frameworks, establish G20 heritage for the sustainable fund, globalized blended finance and microcredits, or some of the partnership which is required. Then finally, the vision, the strategic vision for 2030 should be like a circular, inclusive for the global trade system, the SME and MME as empowered cultural custodians, then equality access to markets with sustainable practices. So this is what I thought of emphasizing, and thank you for the opportunity. Let's build a global economy that honors our past and sustain our future. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vimal, for sharing your ideas and information on the point of deliberation topic. And I would like to request Dr. Hema to share the summary of Mr. Vimal on his point of deliberation today.
Professor Vimal, it was extensively well done. Amazing presentation, thoughts for small and medium-sized enterprise and medium-sized and mid-market enterprise. Two things you have touched upon. So what are the challenges, the limited resources, the flexibility, innovation, and small growth orientation, more resources and established presence. All these things you have clearly touched upon. And you have also, in Professor Vimal's presentation, he has also told about fair trade, ethical sourcing, training, which is very much required for taking forward the product and sustainability and ethical supply chains and protection, that is IP and GI protections and trade policies. So as far as the geographical products in India, I was just seeing, so we have Darjeeling tea, Kanjipuram silks, Tirupati laddu, Kangra tea from Himachal Pradesh, and Alfonsa mango from Maharashtra. So the benefits of this is protection of traditional knowledge, economic benefits, and market differentiation. And this also highlights on the cultural significance, maintaining the cultural heritage of the particular country or the geographic location, and support for artisans and farmers, and promoting Indian heritage. So he has touched upon all the various aspects of the SME and MME, and the policies, whatever is very much required. It was an excellent presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That was a wonderful summary indeed, as always. Yes, as ma'am was mentioning, Mr. Vimal, like he has covered almost everything, every single point when it comes to the trading of all these products that we're talking about, not compromising on the safety security aspects as well. So thanks for highlighting on the GIs, especially the cultural heritage and the promoting GI products, which is a much need of the hour that should be discussed when you are going to sum it up with the micro and the medium-sized enterprises. That's what is the topic is all about. So when it comes to GIs of products of G20, Sir was very clearly mentioning about how it really contributes to the global economy. And definitely, as we all say, like there are in India, in simple words, if I'm going to come down to that, funneling it down, tapering it down. When you talk about Kerala, we say it is a land of spices. Like that, each and every state in Kerala has a tagline there, So when it comes to those products, they have the pride of being cultivated, produced in that particular land. So the protection of the traditional knowledge and the heritage has to be first preserved and protected, such that we don't, like we know that, and we cannot, and thereby, like these days, like so many things are happening in terms of mixing and, like adulteration, all these things. But when it is actually from that particular land with all the pride and heritage, it will be always fresh and new, as we all know very well. Land of spices means you'll have to take it from there. And land of tea, Assam means Assam is known for tea and it is taken from there. And definitely like that, each and Kanjipuram silks, especially Kanjipuram for silk sarees. So when it is such a case, definitely it has its own value that has to be appreciated at the global level, and the global value in the sense in terms of economical value also it stands apart and making a very distinctive presence in the market and its trends and its prices in terms of export and import as such. So commanding premium prices and increasing competitiveness. Thanks for that mention, sir. I really liked it. And what is the ultimate of it? When we talk about all these things, land of spices and taking the food security, cultural heritage, increasing competitiveness, what is the outcome? End of the day, we are talking about rural development. So with all these things, the rural development with creating job opportunities, with income opportunities for all those small SMEs and MSMEs who are thriving, they're giving their life to make a living there with the local communities, that has to be taken into account. Like thinking about the weaver community who was there in the Kanjipuram, and also not compromising on the fishermen who was really giving their life going out to the sea. And, it's not just as easy as we think. There are nuances which has to be looked into that. In that case, their businesses, they don't have a license, they don't have a company name, but still that is their living. So with this GI registration and the protection procedures to safeguard those GI products is the key thing that the government has to work on, to safeguarding their interest and their wellness and the well-being has to be taken with due accord and respect taken into consideration with the market access and facilitate the market access for them, reducing trade barriers and promoting exports. There are so many things, give and take in between there. So reduce all these things, take away all those negativities from there, and supporting them with the promotional activities like a simple like some of them, they don't even these days, if you say the marketing trend, how is it happening? Like so many online marketing, which is happening. Think about these people, how they will market. Will they take a picture of the product and put it? And they are trying to do so, but still there has to be some ways to support these promotional activities from the government side, from the NGOs or anybody for that matter, like those who are with the policy and working with them as patrons and encouraging people. So such that the trade fairs and marketing campaigns to raise awareness about these GE products and will be held. For doing this, end of the day, there has to be a proper training for these people. These people are earning their living in a very hard way. So how will they communicate? How will they talk to people? And that has to be a proper training program for these people, for the SMEs, MSMEs, to enhance their skills, knowledge in producing, and in combating with the marketing of the GI products at the global level. with the marketing trends and strategies that are involved, such that these people also will come onto the market, such that with a large consumer base, with the growing demand of the high quality products that we're talking about. So this G20 framework should provide operation for the collaboration, cooperation among all the member countries, facilitating the exchange of best practices and expertise which is involved in it. Thereby, what is the outcome? Where it is going to go to? It will enhance the economic growth of all this with job creation and rural development in the G20 countries. So, in that case, what has to be taken into account is the protection policies of the limited market access in terms of these products, and definitely with counterfeiting, with the piracy which may be there, duplication of the products, end of the day. So that's what we are talking about, with strengthening of the enforcement mechanisms have to be taken into. And last but not the least, these days, anything and everything, as I told you, it's digitalized. So when it comes to how to make it digitalization, an opportunity for these products to come in the e-commerce platforms with the digital marketing will also has to be taken into account for all these things. So by implementing these right trading policies, as Sir was mentioning, the G20 countries can support the growth and development of the sustainable SMEs and MSMEs in the culture and the heritage sector, promoting the GI products, contributing to the economic growth and cultural diversity and rural development. Thank you, sir. Thanks for that wonderful presentation. Indeed, definitely. Thank you. So next we would like to, we are missing out Dr. Anjum Qureshi here, but still. So we are going to conclude the session now with His Excellency, Professor Charles. Thank you. Yes, Professor.
Thank you very much.
The whole session and all the speakers and their contributions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my able Dr. Sylvia Sukuma.
Yes.
Thank God for you, and I thank God for all the lecturers, all the teachers, everybody that has spoken. I really enjoyed everything that was said so far. Health is wealth, and agriculture, food security, global value chain, with emphasis of putting in place the right trade policies for sustainable SME, MME, for culture and heritage global economy. As we all know, trade policy can support sustainable small and medium enterprises by providing access to global markets, fostering innovation, and promoting cultural heritage. However, this policy must also patronize health and well-being, ensuring fair labor practices and environmental protection and cultural integrity. What are the trade policy for sustainable of SME? We have the market access, we have the innovation, we also have the business cluster, we have the supply chain development. When we talk of supply chain development, we are saying the trade facilitates the development of more sustainable supply chains by reducing environmental and social risks. Also, when we are talking in terms of the business cluster, we are looking at the trade policy support, the development of business cluster, where SME can collaborate and share resources so as to foster innovation and competitiveness. And when we are looking at the area of innovation, we are looking at the trade can promote technological transfer and knowledge sharing, enable SME to develop new products and processes. And when we are looking at the market access, we are looking at the trade agreement can be lowered in the area of tariff, in the area of non-tariff barrier, thereby making it easier for SME to export their goods. And when we look at this, since we are talking in terms of health, let us also go to the area of health and well-being in trade policy. What are the things we should look into? We look at the labor standard, the environmental protection, we look at the public health, we also look at the cultural integrity. When we talk of cultural integrity, we mean this is where trades policy respect cultural heritage, promoting the preservation and protecting cultural practices and knowledge. When we talk of public health, we mean the trade policy should address issues related to public health, such as spread of infectious disease, promoting health lifestyle. We talk of the health, the environmental problem. Trade policy should patronize environmental problem, promote sustainability production, consumption of consumption patterns. We look at the connectivity. How does it connect to SME and cultural heritage? We look at the area of a creative industry, where the trade policy can support the growth of creative industries, such as the music, the arts, the crafts, and also these are closely linked with cultural heritage. We also look at the area of cultural tourism. Look at the trade policy can facilitate the development of cultural tourism, by so doing, providing economic opportunity for SME, promoting cultural understanding. Ethical trade that was said by Vima. We look at the area of trade policy can promote the ethical trade practices so as to ensuring business are not exploiting workers or damaging the environment. What are the examples so far concerning the area of trade policy action? Thank God for the Sustainable Trade Initiative. Kudos to World Economic Forum organization promoting sustainable trade practices. Also, the integrating environmental and social consideration into the trade. We also look at the area of regional trade agreement, whereby we have the NAFTA and the EU promoting the trade and investment within the region so as to foster economic growth. We also look at the WTO playing a crucial role in establishing rules for trade, international trade, promoting fair competition and addressing trade disputes. As we all know, trade policy implementation brings about sustainable development, brings about health, brings about cultural heritage. Government can also help the SME to strive and also to foster economic growth, promote a more just and equitable world. It is also worth knowing that the right trade policy to foster sustainable development of SME should encourage investment and infrastructure, technology, innovation, which emphasize on business operation and competitiveness. Such policies should focus on reducing bureaucracy, hurdles, and simplifying custom procedures so as to make the international trade operation more efficient and cost-effective. We look at the area of such policies should also provide readily accessible, simple, and concise information about trade regulation and procedures, which is important to SME, particularly through mobile and smart phone services. Such policies should also promote the facilitator reform, such as reducing the tariff barrier, improving trade infrastructure, and we should benefit from SME by making international operation more streamlined and costless. Also look at such policies should also give fair competition and access to markets by having open and transparent markets, promoting fair competition, and creating playing for all businesses, accessing to new markets, time growth and development, encouraging sustainable sources and ethical production practices, so as to help the SME build a loyal customer base and differentiate themselves from the competitors. We look at the area of policy should also give room for sustainable and inclusive trade, such as promoting sustainable practices, considering environmental and social impact, addressing gender inequality, and providing women with access to credit and business and networks, so as to give room for economic opportunity, promoting sharing of the benefit of the trade equitably among SMEs and other vulnerable groups. Such policy also give room for trade facilitator reform by lowering barriers to services trade to open up new opportunity for SME in tourism and logistic sectors. Also giving government the room to measure and publish data about the trade procedure to allow traders to anticipate delay and improve efficiency. Giving room for government to notify the trade community in advance about new policy and regulation to ensure that information about the laws and regulation is readily accessible. Such policies should give room for financial literacy and access to finance by easier access to credit and financing, so as to help the SME overcome financial barrier, invest in the growth and expand their operation. Providing SME with the financial literacy training can enhance their ability to make informed financial decisions and improve their overall performance. Trade finance support can also improve the supply of trade finance, including the availability of credit can be crucial for SME participation in trade international trade. While the right trade policy for sustainable MME, micro, small, and medium enterprises should promoting illegal playing field and promoting inclusive growth, addressing environmental concerns, which is very key. Also, by providing access market, reducing barrier to trade, supporting innovation, promoting responsible business practices. Actually, MME should also focus on promoting access to market, reducing the trade barrier, supporting inclusive growth, and addressing social concern, addressing environmental concern, promoting sustainability, focusing on innovation, as I said, technological advancement to give room for research, development support, digitalization, and to improve MME efficiency, productivity, competitiveness, and knowledge sharing to help the learners to expand their knowledge and to adopt the best practices. Also, building strong international institutional framework, which call for collaboration, data collection, analysis, data policy review, so as to update policy to better support MME. Addressing environmental concern and promoting sustainability is all about promoting green trade, helping MME in developing countries to access market for environmental goods and services, also reducing their carbon footprints. These are very important. Encouraging MME to adopt sustainable production practices so as to help reduce their environmental impact and enhance their competitiveness as in sustainable production. Government work with international organizations to develop and enforce environmental standards that are fair and equitable to MME, thereby promoting environmental standards, supporting inclusive growth, and addressing social concern in the market within the gender and the youth entrepreneurship. Trade policy will also actively support women and young entrepreneurs so as to access resources and markets. The fair trade also is very important in the sense that the right trade policy should promote fair trade practices so as to help the MME in developing countries to gain access to market and ensure that they receive a fair price for their goods and services, since they are faced with this proportionate barrier. We also look at the area of social responsibility, which is also key. The right trade policy.
I think we lost Professor there. Yeah. Okay. So we opened the 1 minute jam session. So we'll have each one of you contributing about the session for just a minute. Please make sure that you speak only for 1 minute, please. Starting from Ms. Neha. Then I'll do this whole summary.
Thank you so much, Sri Vidya ma'am, for giving me the opportunity to say something about the topic today. In fact, while I was doing a research about the topic related to health initiatives, there were many key findings which I was able to find out. There has been initiatives also been taken by the global spice safety concerns. There is FDA's proactive chemical review also related to it. There is advancement in detection technologies as well. So it's just that we have the problem in front of us. It is just that we have to take the concrete actions so that we can achieve our not only the sustainability goals, but overall the ecosystem should be in balanced manner. And I like all the points of discussions which was being deliberated by Dr. Hema, Vimal, Dr. Jalina, Dr. Venkat Reddy, as he gave a very real life example of telling that how the problems in Delhi related to the air pollution has contributed of taking the people antibiotics more and more. So the problem is already there. It's just that collectively we have to work together and many point of deliberations were on the topic that educating the masses, educating the rural population, educating the youth. So I think that will play a big role in the near future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Neha. Dr. Reddy, please. 1 minute. You're muted, sir. Muted. Unmute yourself, sir, please. Dr. Reddy, please unmute yourself. Okay.
Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry. Yeah. Hi, this is really great. These 10 topics are really interconnected. Really, you are awesome. You have learned many things from you. Really, this is very good platform to interconnect the overseas people with the India and the interconnection with the work collaborations also. It's really awesome. It's really, I'm very blessed to have one of the speaker with you, Srividya Madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Reddy. Yes, Dr. Elena, please.
Okay. In the 21st century, man in the greatest challenge. Why man? Dweck ask the question why. At such a level of development of technology, science, throughout, we are clear to nature. Haven't we learning anything from the development of civilization? How to be in synergy with nature? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much. Dr. Hema, please. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, today's deliberation was excellent. And I just wanted to link it with the Thiruvalluvar, our sacred poet, and all the, I think, SDG goals, today's topic, the human, animal, plant and environment, trade, wealth, everything, health, everything is covered in Tirukkural in various chapters. Chapter 2 constitutes rain, chapter 4 and 452 nature and the earth, chapter 26 animal, chapter 33 animal cruelty and compassion, chapter 1 sacred space, chapter 30 need for self-control, and chapter 31 to 40 wealth, and in the title Porul, commerce and business. So everything is covered. I think if we will read all these chapters, we will be able to address sustainable development goal and plan strategies. Thank you very much.
Very good, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thanks for that beautiful mention, really. Dr. Hema, thank you so much. Yes, moving ahead, like Mr. Vimal. Mr. Vimal, if you're there.
Yes, ma'am. I'm there, ma'am.
Yeah, of the whole session, sir. You'll have to give an opinion of the whole session in 1 minute.
1 minute. Yes, ma'am. Really, it was nice, ma'am. I could hear new things regarding the bacterial infection, pandemic. All those things are new to me, and it was a really healthy discussion, sir. Somewhere else, if we keep on insist, word has power. Definitely, the word has power. So, so all those points, what we insist will be reflected in the future, and as all our aim is for generating the global economy as a single health. So that will be attained soon, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Good. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, moving ahead, like we have come to the end of the session. Anybody else other than the speakers, Mr. Pradeep or Pratiksha, who have joined, would you like to say something about the session, please? Well, so on that note, concluding with our presidency, talking about the health policies, what we have today talked about is consolidating the health priorities and achieving convergence in the health cooperation. So that's what the focus is all about. So how do we do it? With the global view of GVCs, that is global value chains. First, we need to understand it with the knowledge and the campaign, the training campaigns, to recognize why do we need to do that? To recognize the interconnected of the global health systems and the role of GVCs in shaping up the health outcomes. So identify the opportunities, leverage GVCs to improve the access for the healthcare, enhance health systems and promote innovation, thereby collaboration, coordination, working in collaborating with all the governments, all the global governments and the international organizations and the private sector entities with the knowledge sharing and technology to enhance the health system, and thereby investing on the capacity building and the training programs to strengthen the health systems and improve the health outcomes, with the role of policy as policy coherence, as with the different sectors and the levels of government to support the health priorities, and with the regulatory frameworks to promote innovation, safety, and quality in healthcare, and also definitely with ameliorate the international cooperation that is to be addressed for the global health challenges. All can be achieved with integrated action of the multi-stakeholder partnership in their own levels, from the community, state, district, country, national, international level, with international organizations, with private sector entities and the civil society organizations, with the whole of government approach. Why whole of government approach, a holistic approach that we're talking about? Because we are calling it as one health quarter per time. If 4 organizations are working in 4 different sectors and factors contributing to it, how to make it as a whole, this 4 quarters, how to make it as a whole is to adopt the whole of government approach on health policy, ensuring, because health is universal, health is important for each and everyone, every single human, every single animal, every single environment, everything has to be taken into consideration with the health policy, ensuring coordination, coherence according to the different sectors, evidencing the decision making with informed policies on the health and programming, such that consolidating the health priorities and achieving coherence in health cooperation can promote the global security, improve health outcomes, and enhance the well-being of the populations worldwide. So thank you so much. That is the outcome of today's session, the takeaway. With that, we have come to the end of the session. And yeah, so allow me to share my screen for the next week topic. I'm sure it's going to be a hot drop for everyone, because every time when people see this, usually there used to be a lot of speakers for this one particular topic, because almost everyone is an educator, and this topic, everybody will register, believe me. Education 360, where we are going to talk about our presidencies about inclusive, equitable, relevant, quality education, creating lifelong opportunities for all. These are the parameters that we're going to talk about. These are the deliberations that are going to be there. So that's what is the thing. So next week, we'll be talking about, next 3 weeks, we are concluding it, our people part of it, with Education 360, empowering to lead, that one planet that we're talking about, with Shakti Spectrum and Yuva Global, thereby summarizing, confining it to engage, explore, enhance our planet and the earth for a sustainable living, thereby contributing to goals of Addis Ababa action. So thank you so much. So these are the 3 weeks which are going to be very crucial, and with very more relevant topics of G20 International One Planet Cabinet. Thereby, so we have come to the end of today's session, that is on health. So let's all be in our pink of health, contributing for the pink of health of the whole world as such, talking about health for all, because health is wealth indeed. So
thank you, Srividya ji. Your efforts are really awesome. Really great.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. Thank you so much. Thanks to each one of you for those wonderful deliberations. Thanks to all our community partners. Definitely, without them, sessions will not even happen. So, sincere thanks to GSFN, Global Sustainable Futures, IIU, International Internship University, University of Creativity and Innovation, the Institution of Green Engineers, IGEN, Good Vision Seva Trust, IGEN Global, Amity University, Dubai, SRM Group, with Sri Ishwari College of Engineering and SMA Valiamai College of Engineering, SRM Engineering College, with Sidam Group of Institutions, and Dr. MGR Education Research Institute, Sri Ishwar College of Engineering, St. Xavier's College of Engineering, JN Institute of Engineering, St. Gracious Legacy Foundation, with the Sustainable Group of Hope and Foundation, Universal Human Values, and Green Brigade. Thank you so much, and our sincere thanks to all our eminent speakers who have contributed immensely, and those deliberations were really awesome, and really thanks to all our wonderful speakers of today. Neha, would you like to do it, or should I continue? Yes. So thanks to Dr. Hema, who from Dr. MGR Institute, Medical Educational Research Institute, who spoke on the silent pandemic of AMR. Thank you. Dr. R.S. Shaji, representing IGEN, who spoke on reducing the risk of emerging and re-emerging epidemics and pandemics. Thank you, sir. Mr. George Isaac Torres Manicure, who spoke on the global upsurge of food and water and safety hazards. Thank you, sir. Your deliberations were excellent. And Dr. Elena Boswick, who spoke on, again, the global upsurge in food and water safety hazards. Thank you. And Dr. Venkat Reddy, who spoke on the links between the health and environment and the humans, animals, and planets, talking about on the universal ecosystem. Thank you, sir. They were really comprehensive and much need of the hour. Thank you, sir. And Dr. Anjum Qureshi, we missed her there, though. Dr. Virginia, who really summed it up with increasing participation, who had the keynote session of increasing participation of women and youth in agro-food chains, will definitely pave way for putting in these practices in place. So when putting in the practices in place, there was a total concluding remarks from Mr. A. Vimal, who talked about putting in place the right place and policies for the SMEs and MSME sector, thus by forming a culture in the heritage of food in terms of global economy. And thereby there was a concluding remark from His Excellency Professor Charles on all these factors. Thank you so much. With that, we have come to the end of today's session. That was, again, a wonderful session indeed. So health is wealth, definitely, as we all know. If health is not, if money is lost, anything, we can just regain it any other day. But if health is lost, definitely we can't get it back. So let's all pull our sleeves and work together in making our place a better place to live in, with all the health priorities in place. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. That was wonderful having each one of you with us. And until we meet again for next week, it's bye from all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
Congratulations,
Srividya,
my
ma'am.
dear.
Thank you to all the speakers.
Yeah, thank you, Ms.
Thank
Neha,
you.
for being such a
Thank you.
wonderful host.
Bye-bye.
always. I'm
Bye
sure
bye.
you are
Bye
going to
bye.
be a speaker.
Bye bye. My colleague. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Elena.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ms. Neha,
Next
I'm
to
sure-
meet you. Next
Yeah,
to meet you Sunday.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Neha, I'm sure next week you will want to become one of the speaker, I think. Thank you. And sincere thanks to our backstage heroes. Mr. Kapilan, are you there? Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And Niranjan and the IGEN team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Wow.